Hello, joyful brothers and sisters. So, on the 27th of June, we have entered the last month of the White Magnetic Wizard year. We are currently in the cosmic month of the turtle, the 13th month of the dream spell calendar. If you want to freshen up your memory to remember the meaning that each month has, you can go ahead and watch the video, the 13 moons of the year. But because this month is associated with the cosmic tone of presence and transcendence, this month is all about presence, simply being, taking it slow and looking at what we have accomplished over the last year, which was pretty intense, and I'm sure all of you have felt it. The White Wizard is the one that aligns us with our hearts and its infinite wisdom, attuned to the pulsations of the primordial heart, the Hunapku, allowing us to create magic and to enter timelessness. Naive little me that likes thinking about the bright side of things, people, and archetypes expected this year to be just filled with magic and enchantment and amazing opportunities, and it turns out it was filled with amazing opportunities for growth, which doesn't necessarily mean that they were always easy or pleasant. Because before we can tap into the infinite wisdom of our heart, we must first clean what is blocking us from being connected with our heart at all time. And that means to outgrow all of the patterns and programming until we can return to the innocence of our heart. The White Wizard asks us to look within at the barriers we have built around our heart and to let them go. White is usually associated with a sort of a symbolic death that we need to go through in order to make the inner transformation possible, and this is exactly what the White Wizard has been asking us to do. He has been showing us all the parts within us that are out of alignment with ourselves. But just like in a sacred medicine ceremony where first we have to go through the aches and pains and the purging process, releasing all that is toxic within us, only then can we hear the voice of our heart speaking from within the darkness itself. So I've been feeling this year as an intense purging process where all of the shadows that I haven't dealt with yet came storming in, asking me to look at them, to see them, to accept them so that I can learn to love them. Because the darkness is part of us. It's the mechanism through which we grow and evolve. By outgrowing the shadows that are within us, we can grow into the best version of ourselves. And if we succumb to that darkness, of course, it seems terrifying being there, and it seems as if it's going to eat us alive. But if we look at it as a teacher and we thank it for its teachings, then we can release all of those shadows and allow them to go back towards the source where they become light. And looking at the state of the world right now, we are still within the purging process. All the fears and shadows within the human consciousness are all storming in, demanding to be seen, to be looked at, to be accepted and loved. What we need to do right now is conscious beings trying to co-create a harmonious reality is to love the unlovable and to forgive the unforgivable. And that's when the power of our heart truly unlocks. And it begins with us. Love the unlovable within you, forgive the unforgivable. And yeah, it sounds very easy and poetic, and trust me, I'm right there in the process. I know how difficult it is, but there really is no other way. Only through the power of unconditional love and acceptance can we truly change something in this world. I read a few months ago, I don't actually remember where, but it was this idea on the lines of, what if changing the world depends on you finally loving and accepting yourself unconditionally? And it actually does. When we attune to our hearts, we attune to the heart of the earth, to the heart of the universe. We attune to the highest evolutionary intentions of the earth itself. When we are attuned to our hearts, we are in sync with ourselves, and that's where the key to timelessness lies. Because when we are in sync with ourselves, we are in sync with the universal cycles. So I just wanted to remind you that, being the magnetic year, this means that the next 13 years are going to be anchored in this White Wizard energy, just like in the case of wave spells. This is to give you a heads up that the purging process isn't over yet. And if you're not sure what wave spells are, be sure to check out the video, The Structure of Wave Spells. And starting the 26th of July 2020, we are entering the year of the Blue Lunar Storm. And it should be quite interesting because the blue storm is the strength and the courage to be totally free in front of the world, to express ourselves without any type of fear, guilt, or doubt, or any other limitations. It asks us to look within and to decide for ourselves which direction we want to go in life. And it reminds us that we are totally free to experience whatever our soul desires. And given what is happening lately with all of this mass control, it should be quite an interesting year. This world, this life is nothing but a huge playground in which our soul is free to experience, to create whatever it chooses to. The only limitations come from our inner fears and our own inner judgment. And the more freely we express the authentic voice of our soul, the more we are able to shine our light and to share our inner wisdom. The blue storm is like the hurricane that comes into our life and sweeps away all of our programming, all of our fears, all that is not in alignment with our highest self. And out of all of the blue solar seals that mean transformation, I call the blue storm the ultimate power of transformation, the catalyst for change and growth. And when you think about what a storm is, it's one of the expressions of the power of nature. Because when a storm hits, it can flood rivers, destroy dams and entire farms and villages. For me, storms are one of the ways in which we are reminded to be humble and to respect nature, because we do not own the earth. We could say that it owns us, but it's not about owning. We belong to the earth, and storms are here to remind us of that. I've always felt the rain to be so purifying, washing away all that needs to be cleansed, and the thunders shatter all our false constructs of reality. So the blue storm offers us a powerful lesson. It teaches us how to be still and centered within our being so that we can reach the eye of the storm, that place of stillness where we cannot be touched by what is happening around us. It teaches us how to be calm, still, and centered while around us everything may change and transform. And that's the key to overcome any storms in our life, not to run away from them, not to hold on to how things were, but to welcome and embrace the change that these storms bring into our life. And this is the function that the blue storm has, to cleanse our life so that we can allow the new to blossom within us. And because this is the purpose of the storm, to make us let go of whatever is holding us back, the more we resist and hold on to how things were, the more intense the storm is going to get. But the more centered, calm, and still we remain, and the faster we learn what to let go of and how to let go, the greater the changes that will come. But if we lose our center, well, we're going to get pretty soaking wet. And the lunar tone represents number 2, symbolizing the polarity of the universe. Everything in this world is interwoven through the existence of the polarity between two opposed forces like masculine and feminine, matter and spirit, life and death, sun and moon, light and dark. And this tone brings a lot of challenges into our life because it asks us to open up to the totality of the universe, to the light, but also to the shadow. And it teaches us how to stop separating them. Now, being the lunar tone, our Blue Lunar Storm is in the wave spell of the white mirror, and the white mirror is the power of clarity that helps us see beyond the illusions of our mind and the understanding that the outside world is nothing but a reflection of our inner world. Reality is merely the reflection of our inner truth. But because we have all of these unconscious beliefs and desires, we don't always fully understand this world we're living in and how we are totally controlling and creating our reality. So the white mirror gives us the capacity to dive within our unconscious mind and to really become the masters of our life. And it releases us from this victim mentality of, why is this happening to me? You are creating it. And the only way to understand how or why is to go within. This next year is an invitation for us to have the courage to dive within the unknown of our unconscious mind. It's an opportunity for us to learn how to accept the disturbances in our life and to see them as beautiful teachers that are here to teach us how to love, how to accept, how to forgive, how to let go. Beautiful teachers that are here to help us come back to our true essence. This is the purpose of this Blue Lunar Storm year, to help us shatter all of the illusions that are within and outside ourselves. So that's it for today. If there are any questions about the Dream Spell calendar, or if you're interested in decoding your own galactic signature, you can feel free to contact me either on my Facebook page or on my email. Hope you have a beautiful end of the year and a magical, not so stormy new year. In Lak'Ech.